every type of roofing system in the market, other than spray foam roofing. That's something that we do not do. So like that's the Crop Center here in South Bend. This is the NCAA headquarters down in Indianapolis. This is all copper. This is all copper. That's the state capitol building in Lincoln, Nebraska. So as you see, there's your guys' building. So you've got numerous types of roofing. This is all sheet metal, the blue, and then that's all roll slope flat roofing, which is membrane. We've been around a long time, since 1922, and have a nice reputation nationally for the kind of quality that we do. We are not the Johnny Low Dollar roofing contractor. We do it right, we do it by quality, but there's a price to pay for that as well. We also have highly trained and skilled field forces. Safety has become the #1 thing in our business, and we lead with safety anytime we're promoting our company to customers. Subcontractors. We're structured more like a big general contractor in that in the old days, subcontractors used to do what was called cradle to grave, which means your estimator would be the guy that estimated the job. He then would go sell the job to the customer, and then he would become the project manager if we secured that project. The problem with that is that we can't hit the volume that we need as a company. We've become a pretty sizable subcontractor. And for us to hit the numbers that we would need 15 of those guys estimating and project managing. So what we've done is we've broken down our company into different departments. So this end of the hallway is pretty much all estimating. So it's going to be estimating, clerical, accounts payable, all of the HR is in this end of the hallway. Once the estimator secures a job, then it heads down to this end of the hallway, which is our operations side of our business. So that's project managers, safety people, superintendents. We have 2 in-house CAD drawers that take care of all of our drawings that we have to submit for projects. And once that job is handed off to the operations side, the estimators and sales team is on to the next one trying to sell another one, okay? They have some involvement as the project goes on because they know the project inside and out the way they estimated it, but primarily once we secure a project, it ends up in the center of the hall. We try to forget about them and go on to finding more work on this.
There we go. Oh, wow. Okay.
To your left.
Holy.
This is our roofing warehouse. And again, the business has changed over the years. Years ago, we used to take all of our material for jobs into this warehouse and then repackage it on the trucks to go out to separate job sites. Now everything is drop shipped to the job site primarily. For example, we just picked up a job in North Carolina that has 260 trucks of insulation. So just the logistics of handling 260 semi-trucks of insulation like this. That doesn't include the membrane of that. For example, safety-wise, this is a fall cart. So this thing, our guys will attach to this while they're on the roof. It's a very heavy piece of equipment, and this has big spikes in it that if you fall off the roof, it activates these spikes in the cart that then go down and grab onto the roof structure that keep you from falling off the roof. So again, fall protection is absolutely #1 to us. So we're either tied off or we have the proper OSHA protection on every project that we do. Where we keep contractor stock. We stock all different kinds of gauges, types of metals, colors, and that would be in these flat stock sheets, what they call that. So like this 22 gauge Sierra can, and this is specifically for a project that's out in bankruptcy court downtown. So what we'll do is we'll take this flat stock, and then you'll see when we move into the next room how we take this flat stock and we bend it up. And we make things like this, which is for the new Goshen Intermediate School. So this is a coping cap. So at the top of the building, at the top of the wall, typically when you look up there, you're going to see something that's a cap. Some sometimes they're limestone. These happen to be that. They're making out of that flat stock that I showed you over there. What are you guys making, Brian?
Outside corner right now.
An outside corner for
Warsaw.
Warsaw. Okay, so this is a wall panel system that we're doing down at Warsaw. And what they're doing is taking this flat stock that was cut down to pieces this size, and then it goes into that machine, and the machine is programmed up there, and you can see the wing comes up and bends the metal only to a certain point. So it's all computerized. So it's got this cover on the outside, and again, imagine this started off in a big flat sheet like what we saw. So there's a number of bends here. You have this main bend that makes this 90-degree angle. Then you have these hems on the inside. So there's a tiny little bend that runs the full length of that thing, okay? And so what this is gonna be is, if you stand this up on end, imagine a wall panel system, and this is a corner piece. So you're gonna have a closure piece at the end of that panel. So this will be a wall panel system, and then this is gonna be the closure piece. Again, we save a lot of money by fabricating these ourselves versus buying these stuff. Table right there. What are you working on? So we have a project on Indianapolis, which is an old Coca-Cola bottling facility that they are now turning into a multi-use development project. It's an entire city block, and they had this canopy down there with this really ornate copper stuff on the canopy, okay? So what we've done is gone down there, we take all of the historic copper off of the canopy, we bring it back here, and then what we'll do is we'll historically recreate that in our shop, ship it back down there and reinstall it. The interesting thing about this project is that this stuff, this is copper. You guys saw what copper looks like when it's raw, right? This is what it looks like after it's been out in the weather for, say, 100 years. It patinas and it always turns green, okay? Well, when they wanted us to replace this, they wanted it to look like that. They didn't want it to look like this. As we get done fabricating these pieces, we will pre-patina it, which means we put acid on it to make it prematurely age so that it then will match what they have. Stadiums have become a nice little niche business for us. We're known around the country of doing stadiums, especially stadiums that have logos on them.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
The first one is, how do you think being a national company has benefited you more than just staying local?
Well, we are an anomaly in the roofing industry, okay? So we're ranked in the top 50 nationally for the volume that we do.
How do you think, I know you're very family and safety, and you really seem to care about your people that you're working with and serving. How do you think that's impacted your business, just in general?
It's significantly impacted our business in that I think the average length of an employee at Midland Engineering right now is about 20 years. Now, if you look at the oldest to the youngest, 20 years is a long time to be the average of how long people stay working.
Financially speaking, how risky is the roofing business?
If you had a bunch of money to put into something right now, I wouldn't put it into a roofing. It's a very risky business. He is our safety guy as well as our risk loss control guy. So it's his job to minimize your question. But the nature of our business, I mean, we're up high. We are in a very dangerous environment.
These other places, you're in North Carolina or you're Georgia or whatever. Do you contract people out there to actually do the roofing? It's not your South Benders sending them down there.
That's a very, very good question. We are a union company. So what we do typically, say this North Carolina job, we're gonna need 54 people on that job. About half of those people are gonna come from South Bend. And that's not easy on families. I mean, that job is gonna be a 7-8 month job that our employees are gonna end up being in Greensboro, North Carolina for 7 months. One thing we do that our competition doesn't do is we make arrangements for them to come back and see their family, and we pay for them.